If we look at a topic at surface level, like fear of death, and we talk about it on the mental plane, there's infinite philosophy, but fear is an emotional phenomenon. Fear does not always necessarily respond quickly to logic. So the best weapon for a painful emotion is a supportive, a feel-good emotion. And one of the strongest, if not the strongest feel-good emotion is love, which is also nurturing to feed the restoration of the part that is wounded, the part that is missing, the part that feels compromised. So calling in that love, allowing yourself to love the part of you so much that why manifest, focus on, allow for more wounding? This is perfect just as it is. Will shift you to seeing the perfection, and will shift you to sending a loving energy with the intention of healing and restoring. And that will be, when it's finished correctly and successfully, that will be reflected in a shift in the mental, in the thought, in the expression. And this might need to be repeated a number of times. If you do the exercise, you tune into the block, you feel tightness in your body, and you dissolve it. And one chakra might take many, many treatments, but these treatments are finite, meaning no new ones won't keep cropping up. When you're clear, you're clear. And every single one will take you farther to the shift you want to have happen. Now, when there's a magnification of energies, such as in this phenomenon, it will magnify everything. It magnifies the energy moving around. It magnifies wounds. It's an even bigger reason to release wounds, and it's something to feel grateful for. Because this inspiring shift of energy with this phenomenon is allowing us to see and feel these elements of our humanity which hold us back so much from living free, full, fulfilling, happy, empowered, ascended lives. These emotional responses trigger stories, fears, aversions, whatever. Things we compensate for, things we procrastinate to avoid and allow our life to go where we don't want it to go because of. Because of. We're now able to see more of these things at once. There may be more to heal, but that's not necessarily true. We are able to heal more because we can see more of it. So this healing opportunity, whatever actions, scenarios, yesterday, today, tomorrow, whatever is in that box, is an opportunity to build your strength and capacity to deal with it. That acting, as you visualize that action, is a ritual to strengthen the third chakra, the chakra of will. So for all the beings you know who are working on staying calm, staying healthy, staying financially solvent, having enough food, being safe, whatever their concerns are, they have the will to do the actions they need to do. Maybe it's develop the will to fast. A lot of religions did that in the day during food shortages. Not like we're in one, or not that I know that we're in one, but fasting is actually very good for the body. So that may be an opportunity to shift in that way. So as we're collectively considering the world as a whole, which is concerned of and considering of death, and our eyes are closed so we can visualize this. Visualize people all around the world scared of death, scared to death. And all the facts and figures and stories and data and possibilities and probabilities, that entire bucket of stuff, whatever you've read, whatever the truth is, whether it's more, the numbers are greater, the numbers are smaller, there's a difference between action, cause, effect, and emotional response. What is. Yes, we will and we are working to heal the root of this phenomenon, but if there is death, there is death. Every day there is death in this world. People die in car accidents, people die from heart attacks, people die from strokes, people die from murder, people die from cancer, people die from tripping and falling, people die from many, many other things than what's going on in the world right now. And while that is not an excuse to ignore any death that could happen. It's a reminder to accept the fact that death is and has been part of life as we knew it. And if every living thing, or almost every living thing, has an end, that end will come someday. Hopefully it's as far out into the future as is right for all of us. Hopefully no more deaths will occur from this phenomenon, although statistically that, as of this recording, that may not be super likely. Likely there will be some more. But fearing something is completely different than working on lowering the probability of something happening or happening to you. That fear causes an aversion, causes an avoidance. It causes an escape. Now, sure, it's good to avoid being surrounded by coughing people. I'm not talking about that kind of avoidance. Avoidance of not thinking about something, avoidance of not going within to resolve whatever in yourself is holding yourself back from inner peace. So as most of us are getting our social connection online right now, unless it's somebody we live with or live near, or we're ignoring whatever quarantine effects are in place, which I guess I don't recommend because government mandates and stuff, if they're still going when you see this. But if you reach out and give supporting, inspirational energy to people to live their lives the best they can, however they can, to laugh, to take the time to be reminded and remind yourself of what's funny, of what's worth living, of what's worth having, you appreciate life more. And that gratitude and love for life is a much better place to shift in, aside from worrying from death. If you've done all you can reasonably do in the current situation, and you really can't do anything more, or wouldn't be practical to do anything else, then no real actions you can do would contribute to your imminent or non-imminent death for whatever causes in the next, say, 24 hours, 48 hours, 96 hours, whatever it is. So once your actions are finished, or even while doing your actions, if there's any desire to avoid those actions, if you're just like, I want to get these things done, I want to get to the store at 6 a.m. and buy these things and rush home and hope somebody doesn't cough on me, even though I have 4 respirators on, whatever's going on. If instead you can be like, oh, I'm going to go to the store, I'm going to buy what I can find, what I need, I'm going to go home, I'm going to read a great book, I'm going to apply for online virtual work, whatever it would be. The difference in that is there's no fear, there's no aversion, there's like, I need to get this over with because I don't want to do this. There's like, oh, I get to do this. I am going to be present in my life. It's a very interesting phenomenon that what we're afraid of we could attract. If you're so afraid to die that you're not really living because you're focused on death the whole time, doesn't that mean you're a little bit more dead already? Maybe your heart's beating, your brain is firing, but if life is presence and joy and happiness and like just enjoying quality of life, and you have a conscious choice to not do that, then you're choosing death, even if it's 1% more of a death experience and not like a clinical flatline, right? If you look at vitality, there's a difference between running a triathlon, laughing with friends, reading a good book, to being kept alive on a ventilator, right? All those things have different amounts of life energy and vitality, but how much life is really present, yes, all those classify as alive, but how much life is present is so key. So one of the biggest solutions and ways of strengthening the root chakra and helping everyone around the world to do the same, virtual dance parties, whatever, and helping resolve the fear and concern of death, is fully living, fully embracing life. And if you're looking for an excellent movie to help shift into this consciousness, I'd recommend Robin Williams in Dead Poets Society. Dead Poets Society is an incredibly, incredibly beautiful, powerful movie. Chokes me up a little bit to think about it. It's an excellent movie about these themes. So, taking a short break, I'd like for you to consider, maybe take a notepad, a physical pen and paper notepad, and write down several fears you have, several aversions you have, several themes or thoughts of not feeling safe that you have. I want you to think about also writing down the names of a couple friends, a couple colleagues, a couple people you know who recently expressed similar fears. And if you want to just stay with me on this video, instead of hitting pause to do this, if you're watching a replay, you can. But the last thing I'd offer for you to write down is how you can make a win-win out of this. How you can reach out to somebody and offer support, even if it's just emotional support, and how the two of you, or maybe a group of you, can strategize the actions that you need to take or you're wondering if you need to take so that the action decisions are done and no more energy needs to go in to those decisions whatsoever.